Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your. Warriors fail badly and lose Game 6 to the Houston Rockets. Warriors lose at home and their spot in the Western Conference semifinals is in jeopardy. An unexpected loss that could trigger a number of changes in free agency. Stephen Curry wants to be a champion before he retires, but this roster needs improvement and restructuring. One great champion whose actions have been detrimental to the Warriors is Draymond Green, and some NBA analysts believe that the end of a winning streak has come and that the Warriors should act wisely and let Draymond Green go to another team next season. Some teams want Draymond Green, and one of them is the Los Angeles Lakers. Many things need to change for the Warriors. Even coach Steve Kerr has failed a lot this season. He has had confusing lineups, confusing rotations, and also the pursuit of Jonathan Kuminga, who is a great player and has had almost no opportunities to develop with the Warriors. To be champions again and recover the NBA dynasty, the Warriors need to reform the team and Draymond Green needs to move to another team. Warriors Draymond Green gets flagrant foul in Game 6 for hitting Jalen Green. Draymond Green added to his lengthy tally during Game 6 against the Houston Rockets. The Golden State Warriors star Green was whistled for a flagrant foul just 3 minutes into Friday's first-round playoff game at Chase Center in San Francisco, California. Green was setting a ball screen for teammate Steph Curry and got tangled up with Rockets guard Jalen Green. While trying to get free, Draymond raised his left hand and whacked Jalen on the back of the head, knocking him to the floor. Here is the video. Draymond was initially called for an offensive foul on the play, but that was upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul upon review by the officials. That resulted in 2 free throws for Jalen, both of which he made, as well as possession to the Rockets, on which Alperen Sengun immediately made a layup. As such, it was a costly flagrant for Draymond, resulting in 4 total points to Houston. In Game 3 between the two teams, Draymond and Jalen had already gotten heated with one another. After the final buzzer, the former taunted the latter over his painted fingernails, and teammates had to separate them. Video here. Meanwhile, Draymond has been acting out throughout the first-round series. He got away with a kick to the head of Rockets forward Tari Eason in Game 4, receiving only a flagrant foul instead of an ejection. Draymond also has an extended history of dirty plays during the postseason, in particular, as current Houston center Steven Adams can certainly attest to. Insider reveals teams interested in Jonathan Kuminga trade with Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have had a great season thus far and they hope that continues on Friday night in Game 6 of their first-round series against the Houston Rockets. Golden State enters Friday's game needing a victory to clinch the series and advance to the second round of the playoffs where they will meet the Minnesota Timberwolves. Of course, the Warriors' core of Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green have led the way so far in the postseason and that should continue to be the case in the coming years. While this is a great thing for the Warriors, it may not be such a good thing for their young forward Jonathan Kuminga, who has lost his spot in the rotation. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has elected to bench Kuminga since the final game of the regular season due to his fit next to Butler in the rotation. Because of this, Kuminga's future in Golden State is in question, especially with him being a restricted free agent in the offseason. With Kuminga possibly being on the move this summer, Clutch Point's Brett Siegel recently reported 3 teams that are expected to have a ton of interest in the young forward in the offseason. Siegel reported that the Brooklyn Nets, Miami Heat and Chicago Bulls have all shown interest in acquiring Kuminga and they could do so in the offseason via a sign-and trade. Of course, the Nets have been rumored to be interested in Kuminga for quite some time and they have the most trade assets to land him from the Warriors if Golden State elects to move on. One player they could include in the trade is Cameron Johnson, who the Warriors had interest in before landing Butler at the trade deadline. For Chicago and Miami, they also have some solid pieces that could intrigue the Warriors in a potential offseason deal, but there should be other teams that show interest in Kuminga this summer that could create a bidding war for the young forward. Green will not be ejected from the game because of this incident, which means that he will be able to play through the remainder of the contest. However, the Warriors veteran is now approaching a possible suspension after being called for his second flagrant foul in this series. As reported by Anthony Slater of Bleacher Report, Green is now just 2 flagrant points away from an automatic 1-game suspension. It is important to note that a flagrant 2 warrants 2 points, a flagrant 1 gets 1 point, which means that Green will get suspended if he is assessed with a flagrant 2. As Slater pointed out, this point system carries over to the next round. This puts Green in an even more precarious situation if the Warriors are able to secure a win in Game 6 and advance to the next round. Green is a very physical player, and there is no shortage of intensity in the way he plays. He also isn't the type who lets these types of predicaments affect his style of play, but there's no denying that he will need to be extra careful with his physicality moving forward. Green is, without a doubt, one of the most important players on the roster, and not having his services even for just 1 game will be an undeniably huge blow for the Warriors. Dillon Brooks sends message to Stephen Curry: if he doesn't want contact, he should play tennis. Dillon Brooks suggests Stephen Curry try another sport if he's bothered about contact. The Golden State Warriors have been up in arms over how the Houston Rockets have treated Stephen Curry in their first-round playoff series. The Rockets have been extremely physical, with Dillon Brooks even targeting Curry's injured thumb. Despite the uproar over that, Brooks had a message for Curry and the Warriors before Game 6. If he doesn't want contact, he should play tennis, Brooks said. That's classic Brooks right there. He has never been one who's scared to speak his mind, even if what he says isn't going to go down too well. There aren't too many around who would have openly admitted to targeting Curry's injured thumb the way Brooks did. Spurs and Rockets are a looming threat for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Potential Big Three in San Antonio. Spurs and Rockets are a looming threat for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Potential Big Three in San Antonio. Read more. If I had an injured ankle, I would attack that ankle every single time, Brooks said. So, whatever they're saying on the broadcast, they can keep saying it. Brooks has most notably hit Curry's hand on multiple occasions in this series after the Warriors superstar shoots. That's not a foul according to the rule book, and he's taking full advantage of that. Warriors head coach Steve Kerr has called for a rule change after this season. Kerr believes defenders have been taking advantage of this and have regularly hit shooters after they put up a shot all season long. There is going to be no change in how the games are officiated in this series, though, so Curry will keep getting that treatment. Despite dealing with that thumb injury in his shooting hand, he still has had some magical moments in this series. Curry had 31 points in Game 1 and then put up 36 in Game 3. That 36-point outing was simply spectacular, but the 37-year-old has struggled a bit outside of these 2 games, though. Coming into Game 6, Curry is averaging 23.4 points, 4.8 rebounds, 6.2 assists, 0.8 steals, and 0.6 blocks per game in the series. Those aren't bad numbers, but you'd expect more from a player of his caliber. He failed to hit the 20-point mark in Games 4 and 5, and you struggle to recollect the last time that happened in back-to-back playoff games. The Rockets have done a great job of limiting Curry, and it speaks to his greatness that he has still managed to go off twice in this series. The 11-time All-Star would be hoping he doesn't have to play the Rockets again this season after tonight. While Curry wouldn't be the least bit afraid of the Rockets, it sure would feel nice not to be hit on the hand all the time. As for Brooks, who has averaged 15.0 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 0.6 steals, and 0.4 blocks per game against the Warriors coming into Game 6, he's desperate to extend this series. The Rockets have had opportunities to regain control but have squandered them. They went down 3-1 following a crushing 109-106 loss in Game 4 but rebounded with a 131-116 win in Game 5. The odds are still well and truly against them, but they're still alive. The Rockets won't be going down without a fight, and they led 53-48 at halftime in Game 6. They are in a position again to win a game at Chase Center, and it will be interesting to see if they succeed now after failing in Games 3 and 4. If they don't, well, then a season that promised much will end in the first round. Warriors fans won't like Stephen A. Smith's Stephen Curry Jalen Brunson take. First Take Stephen A. Smith unveils a top 5 list that is sure to spark strong debates between Warriors and Knicks fans. Stephen A. Smith is not shy about his New York Knicks fanhood. His passion bleeds through the screen during the highs and lows. There are plenty of people questioning the longtime ESPN personality's objectivity today, though, following his latest top 5 list. Golden State Warriors supporters will be especially combative. During Friday's episode of First Take, Smith ranked the 5 most clutch shooters left in the 2025 NBA playoffs. He awarded the top spot to Knicks point guard Jalen Brunson, who hit a marvelous game-winning three-pointer to eliminate the Detroit Pistons on Thursday. Stephen Curry is number 2 with Jamal Murray, Jason Tatum, and Kawhi Leonard coming in behind him. If one is to go strictly by what has been transpiring this postseason, then it is extremely difficult to look past Brunson. The two-time All-Star dazzled in crunch time during almost every game of New York's playoff series versus Detroit, putting on a one-man show when the team and fans needed him most. He is also the reigning Clutch Player of the Year, which recognizes the star who thrives during the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime when the score is within 5 points. Brunson's case is therefore a compelling one. However, he has not experienced the championship success that Curry or the other guys on Smith's list have enjoyed. That distinction will cause many to push back on his number 1 ranking. Is Warriors' Steph Curry getting overlooked? Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter the sport has ever known and a 4-time champion whose clutch prowess is defined by his signature night celebration. While his reputation in critical spots was formerly uneven, earning NBA Finals MVP honors for the first time in 2022 significantly boosted his legacy in that regard. The 37-year-old's credentials are substantial, but Stephen A. Smith does not think he presently belongs at the top of his list. Right now, Jalen Brunson is stepping up in big spots like no other player. Though, in order to truly earn the status of clutch king in these NBA playoffs, fans will want to see him do it against the defending champion Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference semifinals. This upcoming series will be a crucial measuring stick for the Knicks as a whole. Meanwhile, Curry and the Warriors will try to finish off the Houston Rockets on their home floor in Game 6. The future Hall of Famer, despite nursing a thumb injury and scoring 30 points combined in his last 2 contests, could still erupt without warning. And if he does so on Friday night, the backlash Smith is receiving will increase twofold.